got that slasher. And about it back with the chipper. Everything's in line. Welcome back, everybody. Another day out here in the woods. Kind of got a break. Josh is going to work. He's over there. He's over there just being a complete doofus. He's working on his air conditioning. I won't make fun of him on the video. I refuse to. But I'm doing a little bit of greasing today. I got to grease the slasher up. I believe we're done for the day. The last truck I don't believe will show up. He left too late. But I wanted to kind of just go over how actually easy this thing is to grease. I don't think we ever talked about that. There's a lot of things that chipper over there to grease is very, very, very busy. Look at there. See? It's a very busy machine with lots of grease certs everywhere, hidden all over. This is a little easier. But let's walk. And that's the first problem I have is that. So the first thing you have to do is you got to make sure your saw is closed. I leave it open all the time, but for some reason I leave it open. But you got to close it to grease it. So let's close it real quick. Shut that. Wait for it. Got her. So there you have it. We got the saw down. The reason you have the saw down is so the cylinder that controls the saw, it's got a grease pin on the bottom and on the top. So you got to grease that thing right there. That's kind of how that works. That's why you got to have it closed. There's a couple grease certs on the back. One of them's there. Not a whole lot of grease in there. Grease in here, kind of how this works is you kind of figure out a little method how you do her. So I start at the grapple. You can stand up on those real nice, real easy. Grease those. There's two for that pin up there, and that pin goes all the way back there. Only thing you got to grease in the middle are, well, hard to see. But there's one right there. Two, see them? There we go. Two there, two there, two there, and then she's got a big port right there. So that literally does the rest of the boom. Boy, we're just all over the place. That does everything else in the boom, and then you just do a couple on the up top, up there, and then I crawl down on this side, and you gotta hit the pin right there. Pin here, the pin there, the pin there. Same thing for that one. And then I always carry a screwdriver with me in a rack. So the screwdriver is because I got to grease that one back in there, and of course that one. So clean the mud out or any wood that's in anything. Get it cleaned out. Then I go in there. That's what I have a screwdriver for, is you can pick around stuff. And then go to this side, and it's pretty much the same thing. So it's pretty simple to grease. Doesn't take too long. Real easy. But only takes a few minutes with the old Milwaukee. And easy. Takes a few minutes, not long. Remember the old Milwaukee? This is one of the first videos we had on that chipper guy was the old Milwaukee. And it's still working out great. So that's the grease we use. The grease gun, simple. We got batteries charging in there. You waiting on me or what? Sugar. Look at that bundle of logs. Let me show you how this is set up. This is how you want it set up. I'll get over here and show you how I like the slasher set up. There's a little more space in between us on this job, just because it's not a bunch of logs. There's quite a bit of chipwood, but I want him to have plenty of room to work in here. I don't have to be grabbing every tree, so therefore I give a little extra room. But what I'm doing is, when you back the slasher up, You want it right in line with the bumper of that chipper. That way when he dumps that bundle, all you gotta do is pick it up and set it in here. And he's got room to get some wood in there. See? That's a perfect spot for both them bundles. That's kind of how I like it. It's easiest, and I don't have to pull it forward or push it backwards. So everybody does it a little different, but right in line, about perfect. He can drop the bundles right perfectly where they need to be. Oh, cat's a hoss. But yeah, we got mud back here because the last job we pulled it out. When you load it up, the only problem that we have is the front end's got to be way up, which in turn kicks this way down. So you tend to get a little mud back here. And that's what happens when you leave that ugly job. You get a little bit of mud packed in places. Ugly. Glad we're out of that mud hole and we're on to dust rolling everywhere. I got a few logs cut this morning. That's about all we had, and then we switched to pine, and we're not cutting any logs out of the scotch. Nice patch of scotch though. Give you a little comparison with the skidder size. Scotch has no logs. That was an ugly crotch I cut out for Josh. You think he thanks me? No! Don't thank me! Making that chipper run smooth. He's working on AC lines. I just tore all his AC lines off, and he needs a pump. So we worked on that. He's figuring that out. But here we go. Got the grapple all done. Got a little wild over here. I was looking on the inside over here. She was squirting out over here. It's only a matter of time before I get myself involved in that. If whoever agrees. And you know, Lock and Lube up there, we don't, not a sponsor of that chipper guy, but a great product. As you know, yeah, you know, if you ever grease thing, I'm going to get into that here before long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my grease tubes and I am going to put them somewhere else because I do not want that thing to get me. Because I have a feeling it will. But yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Them twos up there is the hardest, but only take me a minute. I never thunk I had logs up here. Might mess me up. Not bad. No, we're good. As long as I don't slip. Bark slips off and we go for a tumble. No tumbling. So this is how it works. You got that main port back there. See these little guys here all along the boom. You got these little hoses and little steel lines. That's grease. Kind of how it works. And they pop down in here and go right to there. And you can grease her like that. A little easier, a little better. Remember, easier the grease and the more it gets greased. She's all done and greased. Ready to go for morning. Josh just fixing his last little thing over here. She's ready to go. Should be good. Should be great. Got her all. Just keep rolling.